And now DeGraw is back out with a brand new single, Best I Ever Had, to hold us out until his 5th studio album drops later this year. And Gavin DeGraw joins us now to give us all the details. So Gavin, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us about your new album.
Here.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, enjoying it very much. The album's coming out in September. And while we're finishing up kind of the mixes and things like that for the rest of the album, we wanted to get in early and drop the first single from it, which is called Best I Ever Had, and it's sort of this nutty lyrical journey. You know, there's a lot of stream of consciousness happening.
Drones, hipsters, Antarctica, a bunch of different states.
Oh yeah,
and it's a love song. So explain the connection between those things.
Exactly.
I was watching the videos, like, this is actually really cool lyrics.
Thank you, man.
But where does the girl come in?
Well, I think it was a way to make a love story. The way to make all of the stream of consciousness things work was to put them into a love story element. You know what I mean? So to get out all of those other thoughts, all of that sort of social commentary and little things that bug you, also including it with a love story really kind of makes it palatable. You know what I mean? Especially if you can defer some of it off onto it being her.
Okay, so deferring it off to it being her, but you know, musicians sometimes get into political activism. You're talking about social commentary.
Sure.
How much of this song specifically was meant to be social commentary and even political activism?
Enough. Yeah. I think it's all. You can't help yourself, you know. Where everybody's a citizen, regardless of what their profession is, or career, or job, or whatever, you know. So we all fall either victim or benefit from whatever the legislation is. You know what I mean? So I, of course, included some moments of what that might be.
And some of it seems sarcastic, some of it seems sincere. It's like a guy whose head's flooded with, you know, everything he's hearing on, you know, talk radio, cable news, the internet, and like, what do I do with all of this stuff?
Sure. I think I'm not. I think it's normal to have lots of little pet peeves.
Yeah.
You know, and I mentioned several of them. Do you know what I mean?
More than a handful.
More than a handful.
No, and it makes for a really, really, really colorful song with its lyrics. And we have a comment here from Faux73 saying, were you concerned about how fans would react to your new sound? When we hear more of your signature sound on the new album. So is the fan referring here to just the driving pace, the high energy of the new single?
It's a totally different sound than what I usually do. But, you know, as an artist, it's kind of my job to take chances on that, and at the same time be a few things. One of those important things, though, is to be relevant. So is to pay attention to what other sounds are out there and embrace the ones that I enjoy. You know, one of the sounds that's out there at the moment that I enjoy is the Americana thing. You know, that kind of jangly thing, and we added some of that to this particular track. I'd be lying if I said that this song is indicative of the rest of the album, because it would be, you know, nonsense. It's this song, it exists in its own thing. You know, this is its own thing. It's its own copyright, and I'm not an album theme writer. Each song is different. So this song, I think, is well represented in the production. So the production represents the copyright here.
And you're talking here about also your influences, about how you're really influenced by Americana right now. That's what you're into. This single in particular. We have a comment from Lady Leo 819 saying, you may have been asked this question before, but out of all the singers deceased and or living, who would you do a duet with and why?
Oh, that's tough. I think anytime a musician or a singer decides to do a duet, they have to be careful not to do a duet with anybody that's going to make them sound way worse. So you want to pick a singer perhaps that you think you can compete with.
Someone that you're better than? Are you about to just, you know, do a value judgment on somebody? By naming that name?
Exactly. So I can't name any names right now, basically. I can't name names right now, but if I was to try to do it with Sinatra, it would make me sound like a very small man. Because his voice is so big, grand, and kind of cool and tough.
It would be a good contrast, wouldn't it?
It would be a great contrast. I would be playing definitely the inferior vocal, because his sound is just so big. I think I would get swallowed up.
Sinatra wouldn't let you be anything but the inferior vocal if he was still alive.
I've never heard a more dominant singer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think as a singer, you have to be careful who you would get.
That's smart. I mean, that's really
Paired
smart.
up with, where there's some singers who they know how to really kind of elevate you as well. But I think he's such a lead singer that I don't know if it will work for me.
Yeah, and even his personality, right, probably would have said, get that kid in the corner, right? You want to be with someone who actually respects you and someone who isn't trying to play top dog all the time. And there's plenty out there that I know
he's a real top dog.
Work with
he's a real top dog. Right now, I would say that there are loads of musicians out there right now that I actually respect. It's actually become a very special landscape for pop music. In that I really strongly believe that the top 40 market, which used to seem much more linear, it used to be one sound at a time, has really become a very broad audio landscape. In that it's almost as lawless as the internet itself. Wow. In that you have Americana sound, you have the big Daft Punk movement happening right now. You've got you still have hip hop. You still have EDM, which has become a really huge sound right now. There's so many different varieties of sound that are charting at top 40 that it leaves a lot of room right now at the music landscape.
And you've also appeared on screen here and there in One Tree Hill when your song, when your song was a theme song.
Sure, of course.
Stratosphere. You were on Dancing with the Stars last year. So can we expect perhaps more television appearances from you?
Hey, look, only if they let me. If they let me, if somebody calls out sick, the Dancing with the Stars show was really helpful for me. It got me very comfortable, or at least a lot more comfortable, getting up off the piano, being able to just kind of work the mic and become more social with the audience, and connect in a way that I didn't have the piano, this big piece of furniture in between me and the crowd the whole show. So when you have that type of thing in front of you, it really kind of might make a little bit of a wall. When you get to remove that and have that connection, it's just you and the microphone. There's a whole nother type of performance that can happen. I think it really helped me out. So hopefully in the future, a little bit more of that type of thing.
And with your new album coming out, what can fans expect? So you said not all songs will sound like the single. It's going to be a multiplicity of songs. What can people expect to hear?
It will. I read a lot about love, relationship, things like that. The good, the bad, the ugly versions of it. There are no rules. There's not necessarily one sound throughout, other than the fact that I'm the common writer throughout the album. So even though it's co-writes throughout the record, I incorporated friends of mine working with me, writing with me. The continuity element of the album is that I'm a writer on all of the songs, So you'll hear a lot of my perspective, and some songs are more fun than others, But and some songs have a shot at radio, and some don't. Some songs have a shot in a film, and some don't.
That's cool, though. It's good to have that variety, that diversity.
There's a lot of diversity on the record, and different producers as well. So you're having a lot of sonic changes. So lots of variables. Hopefully, I'll get a long life out of it. I think with the train tour coming up this summer,
I was going to ask, you're hitting the road.
Exactly.
Train, the script.
Exactly.
Across the country?
Exactly. We're doing the U.S. And Canada. So we'll do July, August. And that'll be a really good kind of head start on getting out there to the country and being tied up, linked up with a couple of bands who translate, I think, across the board to audiences like mine.
And we've got a lot of South American fans right now watching this.
Oh, wonderful.
They're in our comments section. One, Daniela Bravo Santos asking, you have fans all around the world. For this reason, have you considered touring in South America? Do it, please. Love from Chile.
I'd love to. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you a funny story about Chile. I've never been to Chile, but once upon a time, I went to a restaurant, a Chilean restaurant. I took a girl on a date. There we were, sitting at the dinner table, and she's smiling at me, and I think, this is going well. I feel the rubbing under the table on my lower leg, in this area.
That area right there, right here, there, that area.
And I'm thinking, it's going really well. So I say something, I think it's funny, she giggles, I feel more rubbing. I reach down to grab her foot thinking it's going really well, and I'm not lying when I tell you that I grabbed it and it was very furry.
It was a cat.
And
So she hadn't shaved in weeks.
no, it wasn't that. I picked up the tablecloth, and there was the restaurant cat underneath the table rubbing my leg. She was never touching my leg, the girl. It was the cat.
But you were still smiling at her the whole time, right?
Smiling.
So it's still going well.
Yeah,
She just
so
wasn't
I
as
was
bold
like,
as you were expecting her.
Not quite as bold.
Yeah.
And then I just started laughing, and she was wondering what I was laughing at. And then I told her, and then of course, then
Then
it
of
was
course she
funny.
started rubbing.
Then she started rubbing my leg too.
Unshaven leg.
Yeah, so she rubbed this one. She rubbed this one, and the cat, of course, stayed because it had already claimed me.
Well, Gavin, thank you for joining. This has been excellent. We got a great anecdote to boot. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
man. Great
Really
to meet
appreciate
you.
it.
Great to meet you.
And you can check out Gavin's new single, Best I Ever Had, now on iTunes. Up next, Alec Baldwin was on the Twitters last night